Hi, everybody. I hope you all are doing good this morning. We're going to go ahead now. We're going to do our Bible lesson that goes with your workbook page 1022 2. Okay, I'll go over that workbook page toward the end of the video. All right. So I want to begin by going over your memory verse. Okay, so your memory verse is 2 Corinthians 3:18b. And we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into his image with ever increasing glory, which comes from the Lord who is the Spirit. Okay, so make sure that you guys are reciting that, trying to remember that. Today we're going to be talking about Biblical Truth 10. Biblical Truth 10 says, God placed a crown of glory and honor on each of his image bearers. If you remember from previous lessons, image bearers are people. Okay, so you and me. All right, so I'm going to read you guys a story from the Bible, and then I have questions as usual, but I will have to answer them for you guys. All right, so just kind of listen, try to stay with me so that when I tell you guys what the answers to the questions are, um, it'll make sense. All right, so this is the story of Joshua and Caleb. This is from the Bible, Numbers 13 through 14. God's people had traveled out of Egypt and were almost to the promised land. God told Moses, "Send men to go and look at the land of Canaan. I am giving this land to my people." So Moses sent out one leader from each family tribe. Two of the men who went were named Joshua and Caleb. Moses told the men, "See what the land is like and what the people who live there are like." Moses had a lot of questions. Is the land good or bad? Are the cities like camps or forts? Is the land good for farming? Are there trees in it? Moses told the men, "Have courage." So the men went and looked at the land. They traveled around the land for 40 days. They cut down a bunch of grapes in the valley. The grapes were so big the bunch had to be carried on a pole. They brought different kinds of fruit back to Moses, Aaron, and the Israelite people. "The land is very nice," they said, "but the people living in the land are strong. The cities they live in are big and protected." Caleb said, "We must go up and make the land ours. We can do it with God's help." But other men said, "We cannot go up against those people. We looked like grasshoppers compared to them." Of all the Israelites started to cry. "Let's pick a new leader and go back to Egypt," they said. Joshua and Caleb said to the Israelites, "If the Lord is pleased with us, he will give it to us. Don't be afraid of the people living in the land. God is with us." God spoke to Moses, "How long will these people dislike me? How long will they not trust me?" Moses said, "Please forgive their sin. I know you are patient, loving, and forgiving." God said, "Since you have asked, I will forgive them. But no one who complained against me will get to see the promised land." God said the Israelites would wander in the wilderness and would not enter the promised land. Only Joshua, Caleb, and the children of Israel would one day enter the land. All right. So, hope you guys were listening. All right. So, where did God tell Moses to what did God tell Moses to do? Okay. And you can tell me where he wanted him to go as well. Okay, but God told Moses to take a leader from each tribe and explore the land of Canaan. Okay, so they went to Canaan. What did Moses tell the leaders to do? He told them to find out the land, what the land and the people who lived there were like. Okay, um, so when they came back and they reported, they told him that the land was good and the people were strong. Okay, and do you remember what Caleb said? Okay. He said that they should go and take the land for themselves, that God would help them, that God would be on their side. The other people, the men responded, they didn't agree with him. They were afraid. They thought that the people of Canaan were so much bigger and stronger that it made them look like grasshoppers, they even said. Okay. Um, but then it came down to Joshua and Caleb said that the God would help them, God would keep them. Okay. What did Joshua and Caleb say to the Israelites? They said that the land was good, that God would lead them into the land, and that they should not be afraid of the people there. Okay. And how did those people react? Okay. They wanted to kill them. They wanted to get a new leader and go back to Egypt. They were afraid. They weren't willing to let God be their leader and to have that trust. So they had fear. Okay. Um, the word confidence is important. God wants us to have confidence. You've probably heard people use the word confidence before. Okay. People use it in different kind of ways. People can say, that you need to have confidence. You need to believe that you're strong and smart and powerful, which is very important. When we're talking about confidence in relation to the Bible, confidence is a strong belief that God will help me to do all the things that I need to do. Okay, so if you have confidence and you have confidence in the Lord, you know that God is going to help you even when things are not easy, even when people don't necessarily support or believe that you are able to do what you need to do. Okay, so that confidence isn't just in yourself, but it's in the fact that God is going to help you. Okay, all right, so I'm going to read to you guys some things from the Bible. All right, I'm going to start with Psalm 8, 3 through 8. Okay. When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon of thy stars, which thou hast ordained, what is man, thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man, that thou sorry, for some reason I can't talk, that thou visitest him. For thou hast made him a little lower than the angels, and hast crowned him with the glory of honor. Thou madest him, thou madest him to have dominion over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, yea, that and the beasts of the field, the fowl of the air, and the fish of the sea, and whatsoever passeth through the paths of the seas. Okay, hopefully you could understand that. I have my King James version of the Bible. I know that usually um, the verses I read to you guys in class are a little clearer, and that's because they're from the international version, but it means the same thing, and I'll tell you guys what it means. Okay, it says that you're crowned in glory with honor. Okay, so God gives special honor and recognition to those that are highest and most special part of creation. Okay, so he's saying that glory and honor are the way that God recognizes us and lifts us up to show that we are deserving. All right. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words a little bit there. All right. So if you have confidence in the Lord, you know that He's with you, you know that God is going to hold you up and honor you as well. All right. So let's go ahead and let's have a look at your workbook, page 1022 2. Okay. Up at the top, it says Biblical Truth 10. All right. If you guys need to pause these videos to get those materials, if you don't have it out already, you can just pause me and start me back up when you are ready. All right. All right. So on the page, it starts with write a C by each statement that shows confidence. So the word confidence starts with a C, so that's why they want us to put a C on the line if it shows confidence. So number one, it was Julio's turn to tell about his artwork. He was afraid he would forget what to say, but he knew God would help him to do it. Okay? Do you feel like that is showing confidence? Remember, confidence is a strong belief that God will help me to do all the things I need to do. Okay? So, yes, he is showing confidence because Julio believes that God is going to help him to do it. Okay? Number two, Bailey's big brother is not afraid to tell people about Jesus. He says that Jesus gives him strength to do all things. Okay, what do you think? Does that show confidence? I would say that it does. He absolutely believes that Jesus is going to give him strength to do the things that he's afraid to do. So, absolutely, that is showing confidence in the Lord. Number 3, it was the first day of school. Mary did not want to go. She hid in her bed. Does that show confidence in the Lord? No, it does not. She did not believe that God would help her do a hard thing. Instead, she tried to hide. Okay, so don't put a C next to number 3. So you should have C's on the lines in front of number 1 and number 2. Right? Number 4 says, fill in the missing words for Biblical Truth 10. Okay, so you have a word bank there. It says the words that you're going to fill in on those blanks are honor, image bearers, crown, and glory. All right, so if you look down on the page, it says God placed a blank of blank and blank on each of his blank. Okay, so let's back up through that. All right, so God placed a blank of blank. Okay, so if you guys remember what I told you, Biblical Truth 10 was, okay, you'll know that God placed a crown. So that first line, you're going to write the word crown. CROWN. It's the third word in your word bank. Okay, so God placed a crown of glory. Okay, so glory is going to go on that second line, GLORY. It is the last word in your word bank. Okay, so that's going to go on the second line. Okay, so God placed a crown of glory and honor. God placed a crown of glory and honor. Okay, honor is that first word in the word bank. It is HONOR. Okay, so God placed a crown of glory and honor on each of his image bearers. Okay, so that's the second word in the word bank. It is 2 words, image hyphen bearers. Okay, so God placed a crown of glory and honor on each of his image bearers. Okay, and that's why that little girl in the picture right next to that, she is wearing literally a crown. Okay. All right, number 5 says color the crown red that has the verse that makes Biblical Truth 10 a true statement. Color the crown yellow that has the verse about confidence. Okay, so I read to you guys, I read Psalms. I don't think I read Philippians, so I will go ahead and read that now. So Philippians 4:13. I think I have it saved. I do. All right. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. Okay? I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. All right? So, is that one of the answers we are looking for? I'm going to read you the directions again. It says, color the crown red that has the verse that makes Biblical Truth 10 true. Okay, I don't think that that's the one. And color the crown yellow that has the verse about confidence. Okay, so Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. Remember, confidence is having the belief that God or Jesus will help you through things that are hard. So you should color Philippians 4:13 yellow, because that absolutely is the verse that is talking about confidence. All right, I'm going to go back to Psalm 8:5. Well, Psalm 8:3 through 8 is what I read you earlier, so 8:5 is within that, so I'll read just that one right now. For thou hast made him a little lower than the angels, and hast crowned him with glory and honor. Okay, so when they're talking about him, they're talking about us, God's image bearers. So just a little bit lower than the angels, and we've been crowned with glory and honor. God values his image bearers, and he wants you to have that confidence in him. Okay, so the red crown should be the one in the middle, Psalm 8:5. Okay, do you guys remember what 2 Corinthians 2:18 is? Okay, that's your, well, 3:18 is your memory verse. I think that's a typo. So 3:18 is your memory verse. So that's not the one. So you should have colored Psalm 8:5 red and Philippians 4:13 yellow. Okay, I hope that you guys are doing great, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.